On program.
God, it was so good. I've struggled at times in this show with, like Amandla v. Amandla dialogue, but this one nailed it. I really, when May said, how could he teach you to heal your negative emotions when he's the reason you have them? You didn't fail. He did. Talking about responsibility and relative blame relative to how much you're able to handle at that point in your life. Like, we remember this kid is 8, right, at this time when they're going through these traumatic events. I truly, truly loved it, because you can imagine all those sessions where he's like, you got to let go. You got to just, let the vibes take over and all this stuff. Meanwhile, he's swallowing the fact that he murdered this girl's mom and she can't get over the fact that she's sad. It's not even the audacity and the hypocrisy is so there. And to Michael's point, yeah, it doesn't mean the Sith are good guys. It doesn't mean that, Chimera and Darth Plagueis aren't manipulating the crap out of this, but the window was left open, right? Like, it don't start none, there won't be none type situation.
It's nasty.
Andy, do you have any thoughts on that? You're starting to talk.
I will just, I loved the dialogue too, but the Amandla v. Amandla thing didn't so much land for me here. I kind of was still distracted by it. I thought it was cool how when they did combat, their moves would kind of match up exactly the same.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it, like, at the same time, it looked silly. I know why it was there, and it did make sense, and I respect it. But I was like, okay.
I also noted that I really liked Osha when May drops those truth bombs. She just like sits there in it, and like she has like a little twitch in her eye, and then she just screams and lets it all. It's like, I don't want to confront that reality. I want it to be simple, right? Like, I want it to be the way I always thought it was. Don't introduce new information. And that was huge. Yeah, really, really loved it. Michael, Taylor, anybody have any thoughts on this scene before we move on and address the moon in the room?
Is this the May versus Osha hand-to-hand fight? Or is that happening here, or is that later?
Yeah.
That's here.
There's a lot of people talking about how it's the worst choreography in all of Star Wars. And I'm like, it's not. It might be, actually. I don't know. It's not a great fight, but it's not that bad either. Like, it's.
What do you mean it might be?
I mean, there's not a lot of hand-to-hand fights in Star Wars.
People are saying it sucks.
Period.
I'm not saying it sucks. I'm not saying they're wrong, but I feel like, they're not right, but they might be.
Be so for real.
But just in terms of the hand-to-hand, like, non-lightsaber combat that we've seen in this show thus far, there's been some really good, really cool moments. And this was like, they were trying to do the weird ninja fight thing, but it's also a cat fight, but it was also weird mirroring. Like, they were trying to do so much with it. It just didn't land for me at all.
Well, they're the same person, so I think mirroring makes sense.
That's what. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. Like, was it like choreography? You can talk about later, but I like that at points, obviously, they were doing something different, but they ended up at the place where they were doing the same thing because they are the same person. Like, there was a lot of storytelling going on in the fight.
Michael says, are we forgetting Ahsoka choreography? 100%. I think
the only problem with Ahsoka choreography is it just needed to be sped up about 2 days. Like, it was so slow.
That's it.
Yikes. Yeah. No, I liked it. I don't know. Again, it was more the dialogue and the emotional stakes than the choreography for me. And
the conversation was good.
Anyone.
That's why I asked about the fight, because I was like, conversation's fine, but the fight was meh.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't blame anybody that doesn't connect with the Amandla thing, because it could be uncanny valley. I totally get that. And in some cases it was for me, but in this one it landed for sure. Wow, what a conversation that was. I'm glad I found this. Apparently this is just a clip from a larger show that's live every Friday night. I don't know about you, but I'm going to subscribe so I can see more videos like this one. Hey, let's both like this video, to boost it in the algorithm, and then we can ring the bell so we won't miss the next one.
Good job.